எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்தோதித்தான் வந்தோதித்தான். அவன் கருணை மழையினில் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டேன் மகிழ்வு கொண்டேன். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டேன் மகிழ்வு கொண்டேன். மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான் துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் நித்யானந்தா.
The nature of consciousness, the source of awareness, the relationship between our ego and the world. This has plagued us for generations. We strive to understand why we are the way we are, why our reality is the way it is, why our life is the way it is. But what if the way we see the world as separate from us is just an illusion? What if our consciousness exists before all experience and is not limited to the confines of our body and mind?
Today, what I reveal is practically the whole Hinduism in a nutshell. If you make the column, you will see clearly most of your problems are internal non-understanding. When these internal non-understandings are cleared, life becomes Leela. You just manifest what you want. I'll make this as a realization in you all now through this initiation and darshan of Sadashiva.
Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, we welcome all of you to today's episode on Nithyananda TV. I am Srinitya Brahma Sukhananda Maharaj, and as usual, as every day, we have with us Srinitya Rajananda Maharaj, Nithyanandam, co-hosting today's show as well. So today's topic, today's discussion, which we are going to have, we have chosen the topic, the evergreen topic of which is related to Hinduism, which is related to Sanatana Hindu Dharma, is that of temples, Hindu temples, their significance, and especially the Hindu temples acting as the time capsules of the cosmic secrets, where all the cosmic secrets, all the knowledge given in the Vedas and Agamas is encoded in the live form as a temple, in the form of the temple, in the form of the deities, everything that makes the part of the temple, that whole, the temple ecosystem structure, everything is nothing but a time capsuling of the sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, readily available for all of us to imbibe and enrich ourselves. And especially, Maharaj, we have chosen this topic because of a big happening that happened yesterday, that in the Varanasi, in Kashi, the Hindus got the permission, the legal permission from the court to have the sacred Shivalingam, which was found in the Jnanavapi mosque. In the remains, the campus of the Jnanavapi mosque, they had found a sacred Shivalinga. To date it back, to do the carbon dating and investigate its roots, its origins, its story, what it really is, and how old is it. And there is a legally, the Hindus have been permitted, the Hindu body which had filed for the permission, right, requesting that we want to establish the authenticity, and we want to find out what is the root of this thing, the whole history of this Shivalinga, which was found in the Jnanavapi mosque. They have been legally now, the permission has been given. It's a big news and victory for the Hindus, and especially even the Archaeological Survey of India, they had they had prepared a report on this, that they have the technology available to investigate and do the carbon dating and everything without harming the Shivalinga at all, without even a scratch, they can find out whatever answers are needed. So it's a very big happening, and that has triggered our curiosity. And even we see all across the social media, people again coming back and with curiosity about this whole history of not only Kashi, not only the Kashi Vishwanath temple, not only the Hindu history associated with Kashi, but the whole Hindu narrative, the whole Hindu history, especially revolving around the Hindu temples. What are they? What is their significance? Unfortunate history of what happened to them, so much of destruction of Hindu temples, how that is directly related and impacts the Hindu civilization, how powerful they are, and that's why the destruction, why they have been the prime target of the anti-Hindu forces even today. for the last 2000 years. So let's begin with the importance of Hindu temples. What are Hindu temples really, right? So I would like to invite you into this discussion, Maharaj, for the Hindu temples singing the glory.
Yes,
as you
Maharaj,
always do.
actually, it is very good and very satisfying to see that finally that we are able to make way both scientifically and in a
Yes.
way that we can legally also take the permission, take the correct approvals to be able to do the research that needs to be done to
Yes.
make our history legitimate. And that is something that has to be done, and it is a long time pending thing, and
Yes.
especially to one of the biggest and most important temple centers in the whole of the world, actually, Varanasi. That is the one of the main kshetras. It is that very Shivalinga that is
Yes.
there in the in Varanasi. That Paramashiva himself, was his own Atmalinga that he gave to the world to do worship. It was his own,
Yes.
like his own puja. So when Paramashiva happened, he literally built the whole city of Varanasi, and so much of lore is there. And whenever the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism goes to Varanasi, is there sitting in Varanasi, he just says the whole air is electric with Paramashiva. The whole
Yes.
vibration is different. And once in Kashi, he says he even says that his Kundalini awakens, and he
Wow.
says that when that happens, the whole energy and the whole vibe changes. And
Yes.
it's always a beautiful space to anytime that we have seen the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism take his visits and do the inner awakening programs and the Paramashiva programs
Yes.
in the Varanasi city. It was always, most of the sessions will just be about talking about Varanasi, how we are just in the best place. It is the best place. It's the best deity, the best god, Vishwanatha, Paramashiva himself, and with the Paramashiva, the living incarnation. So yes, Hindu temples are just that. Actually, when it comes to Hindu temples, they are basically the things that are left behind when an incarnation happens. They happen and they powerfully land, and they radiate tremendous amounts of life positivity and possibility for so much transformation to happen. Just by seeing an incarnation, it is said that you can have janmas of karmas just burn away. So that is the importance of having the incarnations around us. But when they leave the body, they have to leave behind a legacy that does the job of an incarnation forever. And that is what a temple is. It's basically a place that an enlightened master's energy is capsulated. As you said, it's a capsule of cosmic energy. And that is where it's encapsulated, and it radiates that same energy. And the whole architecture and the structure and the way the whole building is just to amplify or just magnify the energy that is there and just share it to the whole cosmos.
Exactly.
That is why the temple tower and the precision in where what is located is so much is there in Paramashiva's, in the Kamic Agamas, and how the temple should be constructed and where and what should be placed. So much is there in the details to make, like, literally the energy of the temple is just through the temple tower magnified. And then there's the Garbhagraha, the place where the sanctum, the center of where the deity is there, how from that place the energy is made to channel itself throughout the temple, and then finally, and it is always used with the Panchabhutas, the five elements, and all of these are in the place in the temple and continuously sanctified through the subtle energies of the mantras.
It's so interesting because we have seen the entire crowd, the whole, especially the younger crowd, being curious and really, trying to find out the answers about pyramids and all these ancient structures, what their meaning was, and the architecture, not just the architecture, but the scientific precision with which they are built, right? Even if we talk about the pyramids, each and every calculation is exact to the point where they have to point towards the North Pole or the Tropic of Cancer or this or that. All the astronomical calculations are exact to, I don't know how many, 10 or 20 places of decimals, right? But we, unfortunately, the Hindus, especially the Hindu youth, they don't look in and see and explore our own heritage, our own culture, our own temples. Hindus have come to believe, because of the whole propaganda and the atrocity literature, which we were talking about yesterday, that Hindu temples are nothing more than worship centers, right? Okay, we worship in some form of the deity, the same God, and it's just we sit there and we feel peaceful and we can connect a little, pray, or that's all really is the context which the modern Hindu youth is carrying, unfortunately, about Hindu temples. But we don't really take time to explore the scientific mystery and the whole the depth with which this temple science has been explained and given in the Vedas and Agamas, and what each and every part of the whole temple structure means, right? From the Garbha Mandir, as you said, and even the wall, the carvings, the pillars, the gopuram, the towers, right? Whatever, each and everything, and even at the top of the tower, there are those little, I don't know what they are called. Especially, they're acting as those lightning conductors for the super conscious
kalashas there at the top.
Kalashas, right?
Yes, yes.
So exactly. So what is the meaning of each and every of those small things? It's not just something randomly someone came up with this imagination or let's build something grand structure which looks good. No, each and every part of the whole temple means something scientifically. It's there for a purpose, and it serves a purpose for the whole community that is around the temple. Temples radiate energy. They keep the whole ecosystem alive with that superconscious energy, ultimately continuously radiating that, right? And all the sciences, all the temples related to any particular sampradayas, they also carry the truths of that sampradaya, right? For example, if it's a Shakta temple, right? So it will have those knowledge systems and all those things, powers and powerful cognitions related to that sampradaya engraved in the very structure of that temple. Just by being in that temple, being in a receptive space, has the power for you to imbibe the whole knowledge. The root, the deity is the root, but the knowledge is encoded in the entire structure of the temple. That is the beauty of Hindu temples, right? Any temple you visit, if you just know how to relate, if you know how to connect, that's all. The whole thing, everything can be awakened inside you, inside your DNA, actually. That's the whole power of Hindu temples. Only if we explored, gave it some time, gave it some attention to explore this whole science of Hindu temples, which is directly given by Paramashiva, isn't it?
Yes, Maharaj. And you have pointed out that the youth have no only temple as a place where they can find peace or place where they can find meditation. This narrative is also something that has gone to the West and has been come back because it is like a digested model of Hinduism. Again, when we have not done the job of teaching our next generation about the value of temple, not in its architectural excellence, not in its ability to have a beautiful architecture or a beautiful space to sit down and relax. It is a power center, an energy center in itself. The science behind it has not been taught to the next generation, and because it has not been taught that way, they have just taken the temple as a place for where they go and sit and have their meditation or have their yoga or their peace. That is all, and that is only after it had gone to the West and come back. And that is the way it has been taught to us. But the temples have been kept alive and brought back by the enlightened masters, the lineage of the Guru Shishya Parampara, starting from even the Shankara Pithas that were made. In fact, you can count that there are 6 Shankara Pithas made by Shankaracharya. Traditionally, yes, it is known as 4, but we know when we look at the real history, the true history, you understand that 6 Pithas are there of Shankaracharya that he had established, including Madhurayadinam, and including Shyamala Pita, Sarmadji Pita, and as well as Kanchi Kamakoti Pitam, and the 4 Amnayas that are there. Those 4 are there, and then that was established by the energy of Adi Shankara, incarnation of Paramashiva himself. And then in Chidambaram, the energy that was installed there by the worship done by Patanjali. The Palani temple, the Siddha named Bogar, he did the work in creating such a magnificent deity of Subramanya, who can radiate for eons together. And this is a special power in that deity that does not have any other power in the world to be able to heal anybody from any problem. That's science at the highest. That is why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is continuously telling us again and again that Hinduism is the higher science, and the temple is the very example of it. This is where the temple is the very fact that Hinduism is the higher science. And Idekadar in the Arunachaleshwara temple and Konganavar in the Tirupati temple. These are all the saints who had come and maintained the lineage, and their very bodies, when they have left their body becomes the very energy capsule in itself. So their bodies are there in the temple in Mahasamadhi, continuously radiating the powerful energy of the cosmic energy, continuously, and they're very much readily available also. Not through the body, but it is the same way for Arunagiri Yogeshwara, whose Mahasamadhi is there behind the Arunachaleshwara shrine in the Arunachaleshwara temple, there itself, we can see the evidence that is there in the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's life, where he spent 9 months with him. And that is where, in the energy of the temple itself, in the ambience of the temple, where Arunagiri Yogeshwara manifested and happened before Swamiji.
Yes.
And there they lived together for 9 months, where Paramashiva and literally Paramashiva and Swamiji were there together as guru and disciple, learning all the agamas. So these are all the possibilities that happen.
It's a very powerful ecosystem we are talking about, Maharaj, because the Hindu temples have the power to, they're actually powerful incubators to groom incarnations to happen on planet Earth and radiate their space, radiate their state, and enrich the whole world with their knowledge, with their experience, with their super consciousness to give the breakthrough to the whole humanity. Incarnations have to happen again and again. And temples are the way to maintain those ecosystems, powerful ecosystems, which will make the incarnations happen on planet Earth. Because we need it's like a landing pad, right? For the plane or helicopter to land, you need a runway, you need a landing pad. And these temple ecosystems, temple-centric ecosystems are those landing pads with which the incarnations happen again and again on planet Earth. This is because of the power radiated by these temples. A time capsuling of the sciences, time capsuling of the knowledge, the energies, the super consciousness, Kundalini Shakti, anything you want to call it. It is only because of these consistently maintained and preserved across the generations for millennia and millennia altogether. It's only because of that, and with the help of Hindu gurus, Hindu incarnations who have given their whole life to preserve and protect these temples. We see about the story of Somanath temple, right? What kind of sacrifice even the temple priests had to go through, they gave just to protect the temple when it was again and again invaded by the invaders. So we see these stories happening all across the whole the land which was earlier governed by the Hindu nations, which were under the Hindu nations. What has gone? History is filled with these evidences and these stories about Hindu temples being powerful, very powerful Hindu temples being razed to the ground. And one might even ask, what is there in, you see, these are such beautiful structures. Any other culture would also want to have them. But what is it that propels anyone and makes anyone destroy them so brutally? It's only because they are protecting something very valuable, very precious for the planet Earth to keep thriving, to keep sustaining itself with the superconscious energy. Once you destroy the temple, that whole science and that whole possibility of the planet Earth radiating the science of enlightenment gets lost. Because temples are not just the energy centers, they are also the preservers of the entire Hindu culture, the Hindu knowledge system, the Hindu arts, Hindu sciences, right? The gurukuls, libraries, goshalas, the whole Hindu community, agriculture, everything was centered around the temples. Once you take the temple out of the whole picture, everything gets lost. It's like the spindle around which the whole thing is rotating, right? If you take out the spindle, nothing is left. That's why we have seen so much of attacks on Hindu temples all across the history. It's a testimony, right? For anyone who, the Hindu hating gang, the Hindu Misia forces, simply they have a clear point to attack, and that's what they have done, right? That's how again and again temples have been destroyed. And that's why the whole point of the revival of the Hindu temple ecosystem, the enlightenment ecosystem by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Again and again, he's trying to bring back our attention to the significance of the Hindu temples, to the importance of Hindu temples, to make us connect back to our roots, to connect back to even any temple we visit. We were even discussing it the earlier day, right? Once we get initiated, even when we enter into a temple, the whole thing is different. Our experience is completely at a different level because we are radiating consciousness at a different level, right? So anything you want to add to this, Maharaj? Because we have seen so much, even this latest happening in Varanasi.
Yes.
It is a good news, but it's also an alarming situation when we have to see that even to look back at our history, we have to take so many permissions, and we are still the slaves, isn't it?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Yes, unfortunately, we have in the form of a different kind of a way, something that is going to stop us from being able to have Hinduism at the freedom at which we want. And that is, in fact, the reason why also that Kailasa is a place where Hindus can have the political legitimacy, to not have these kind of barriers, to look into themselves, to research their own history, to be able to know and do the correct research and all these things. Actually, it is even a big project to be able to collect all the data, all the relics or the remnants of these places, and even just have it as a way to research and find out the true history, at least to find out how it is there. Of course, fortunately, all of this, because of the internet, all of the scriptures can be preserved online, and we can have the internet can save us to have all the scriptures available. And from those scriptures, again, the whole diversity of the whole tradition can be recreated. The forest can grow again, and it is not in any way it is being an artificial kind of reforestation that many people seem to want to have to try to do. Just the original, whenever you deforest a forest, the original diversity and variety of the forest that took millions of years to make is lost, and you'll only have the diversity per acre will be only not so much as it was before the forest was cut down. So, but it is a start, it is a way, but that is not the case in the case of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The way and the speed at which he is reviving, we will be able to have the original forest. The way it is, that is the truth, that is the way that the incarnations work. It is just in the way that they manifest and the way that they magnify the possibility of the reawakening, the re-establishment of dharma happening. It is not that we have to have only less of what we had before. We'll have all of what we had before. That is the promise of what the Supreme Pontiff is giving the possibility for all Hindus, all the 2 billion Hindus around the world, giving the possibility through the only Hindu nation right now, the nation of Kailasa. And this is a point where we wanted to invite everyone to have any discussion with us, and you can join the discussion, give a comment on what you think about the Hindu history or whatever of the topics that we are discussing today. Give your comment and join our discussion and let us know your feedback. We value it so much to want to continue this discussion with you and have a deeper understanding about how others also are understanding about our Hindu history and the words and the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And if you have any questions or anything like that, give your question in the comments.
Yes. In fact, Mara, we would also like to know, let's dive a little deeper into this whole temple science and what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing, right? Because his words are ultimately the best, and directly coming from Paramashiva himself, the way he's reintroducing the temple civilization, the science of temples to the Hindus, and not only the Hindus, to the whole world, actually. So why don't we share some words from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism about the temples?
The temples, and basically as we were describing earlier, the temple is like has so many secrets, and especially it is maintained through the rituals. The rituals and the Kriya Pada. There is 4 padas in the Agama, the Kriya Pada, the Charya Pada, the Yoga Pada, and the Jnana Pada. It is the Kriya Pada and the Charya Pada that are there prominent in the temple. Of course, the temple ambience provides one to be able to live a very yogic life, a very healthy life, as well as the discussions that happen in the sabhas of the temple are also places where the Jnana Pada is celebrated and is also spread around. The Jnana Pada is the knowledge of how this whole cosmos was created by Paramashiva. And then the Yoga Pada is the literal the science of an individual becoming Paramashiva, literally the power manifestation science and all the things that we do in the celebrate in the Paramashiva home programs. All of that is the Yoga Pada. And then the Kriya Pada is the Pada of rituals, of all the Kriyas and the processes that are done to install a deity, to energize a deity and put the deity inside a temple. Actually, there's so much detail is there. When it comes, this is the process known as Prana Pratishtha, literally invoking life energy and in fact, enlightened energy into a deity. That is literally the same samskaras that are done as per the Shastras. The 16 samskaras should be done by an individual in their lifetime. And the same 16 samskaras are done to the deity before the deity is installed in the temple. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism describes also in his in the satsangs that the deity is kept in the sun for as many times. It should be exposed to the elements, to the raw elements, and when it can go through, the stone or the metal can go through all of the elements rawly, then it is refined and strong enough to be able to hold the energy that will be landing, that will be kept inside it. And and in that way, the deity will be able to, as a stone, be able to be created and manifested as an individual. It becomes a being, it becomes something that is breathing, and from that space, the energy is installed inside the deity, and the deity is kept inside the sanctum of the some temple. As of course, the deity is surrounded by a pantheon of deities, like Paramashiva's temples will have Mahaganapati, it will have Paramashiva Shakti, it will have the deity of Subramanya, and so many other deities, Chandikeshwara, the Panchamurti, as we've already learned so much about during the Utsavas. The Panchamurti are the Utsav Vigrahas, another set of deities who come out, who are the extension of the Mula Vigrahas, who come out and do the Brahmotsavas. These deities are Utsav Vigrahas, and continuous Utsavams. Also, we have been talking about how Utsavams, or the continuous celebration nature of Hindus, has kept the economy and kept the wealth just moving around continuously for thousands and thousands of years. That is such a balance of the way that wealth should be used in our lives. And it is also taught in the Kriya Padas, and the next Pada is also the Charya Pada. The Charya Pada is literally physically how to build the temple, and also the lifestyle about how you should live in the temple. And then the temple, how it should be constructed, which room should be there. All of these details are there inside the Kamik Agamas and the other 28 Agamas of Paramashiva. These 28 Agamas are divided into these 4 Padam, and each Agama has one of these 4 or all of these 4 Padas. And then we from there we can learn so much. And fortunately, that Kamik Agama and all of these scriptures are available to us. We can take all of these science and literally sow the seeds again and recreate a temple, recreate the whole civilization. This is all possible. It just requires, in fact, it might be a very overwhelming thing, but in fact, it doesn't require anything but the particular people who come from those specific gotras. If a person wants to construct a temple, they come from the gotras of the Vishwakarma gotras. Those gotras, you have it just in their DNA, it is in their very blood to be able to create and do and create temples and create these kind of infrastructures that create security for temples in today's world and in a physical way as well. So that is one of the gotras, and then there are the other gotras who have the power manifestation science inside of them, and literally through the power manifestation and the yogic powers, they can create a temple. They can literally manifest and create a temple ambience in itself. And before the whole thing, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has recently told that we should take the time now to build our Hindu history. And it is a very good thing to see that we have now the permission to be able to investigate into a question about our own Hindu history, about a Shivlinga that is there inside the remnants of the Jnanvapi mosque that is there in Varanasi city.
Basically, even if we talk about Varanasi, right? We were talking about the temple-based civilization, how each and every aspect of the life it covers, and it radiates the best in all the dimensions. It gives the economic push also to the society, and we see it, right? The whole city of Kashi, entire community is just surrounding that temple.
Yes.
It's not even Ganga, the river Ganga, because Ganga flows all the way from the Himalayas till the Bay of Bengal, right? But why only that place? It's only because of Kashi Vishwanath is established there. Even the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared once the story that the Ganga itself turns around against its course to flow towards the city of Varanasi, and then turns again back to its same course and continues flowing. Just that turning itself, just to offer her respect and devotion to the feet of Paramashiva, who's staying there in Varanasi as Kashi Vishwanath, who's ruling the entire cosmos from there. So that is the history we are talking about, and so much of depth. Even when we talk about Kashi, it's the whole It's all about the whole deepest secrets of life and death, both, right? When we talk about the ecosystem which was established in the city of Kashi, in the city of Varanasi, what all secrets was, what all history, Hindu history, is encoded in the temple, in the remains of the temple, even in the whole community surrounding that temple. Each and every part of that city radiates with that Hindu history. So many things we hear. We even hear stories like there are several layers to that city. What we are seeing is only the most modern, the latest. There are several layers hidden underneath the city. So many things we have heard. It just needs to be explored.
Yes.
What all great things and grandeur is hidden within these powerful ecosystems.
I think
right?
it is said some 7 layers also. There are, maybe
Something-
there may be more, but I think that's so many layers of city of just making. There's so many beautiful incidences that happen inside Varanasi. There's even the Mahanirvani Akhada is the Akhada that is the oldest apex body for whom the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the Mahamandaleshwara. And he was appointed this title in 2007 in the Prayaga Kumbh Mela, the Mahakumbh Mela. At that time, he had in the headquarters of Mahanirvani Akhada, whose founder is Kapila Mahamuni. The headquarters of this organizational body of Hinduism is there in Varanasi city. And Mahanirvani Akhada literally was like how we have been describing the Kailasanatha Shyamala Peta, the sannyas order that literally governs the spiritual kingdom of Varanasi. In fact, Kashi Raja, the king of Kashi, is not allowed to stay and live and have his palace inside the Anandavana area of Kashi. Kashi is divided into several sacred areas, but inside the Anandavana, it is called, the ancient name of Kashi is called Anandavana. And in that place, the Kashi Raja is not allowed to rule, because if he rules there, he will take over, he'll have the greed. So then he has to stay outside the city. His palace is still, the palace of the Kashi Raja is there outside the city. And the Kashi city itself is ruled by Paramashiva himself. And that is maintained and as the sanctity, and that is maintained by the Mahanirvani Akhada. The original blueprints of how the Kashi Vishwanatha temple was before it was actually destroyed by the invaders. It is already there, and it was created by the Hindu university there, and they established it near Varanasi, and those blueprints are there. The Mahanirvani Akhada had kept those blueprints from the time of the from the time immemorial. They kept the original blueprints of the original Kashi Vishwanatha temple. They kept it on a goat skin, and on that goat skin they had inscribed it, and from that they had made it into a temple. Behind the temple again is there the replica of the original Kashi Vishwanatha temple. It's a very grand temple. And the important thing to tell, Maharaj, is that it was completely golden temple. It was a golden temple. It was completely gold colored. Thick gold sheet was used to build that temple. And that was the temple of Kashi Vishwanatha. And that is how it was. And that is how people celebrate it. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism goes on telling that the love that the Kasivasis have towards Vishwanatha cannot be matched by anyone. It is such a beautiful way they cherish their Lord, Paramashiva himself, Vishwanatha.
In fact, it was the first human civilization which Paramashiva established on the planet Earth. That's how the whole human civilization, in his own words, as Kalabhairava, he revealed in one of the Akashic records by the Supreme, in the form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, when he revealed that Kashi is the first human settlement created by Paramashiva himself. And that is the power, that is the history dating back to, I don't know, thousands of millions of years, God knows how much. Just needs to be explored, right? And we still have the same place, the same temple, is the same place. And even if we just explore under the ground, what all will come out, and so many secrets, hidden secrets will get revealed, and so much we will come to know about our authentic, real Hindu history, which has been not only, I mean, it's not just that we don't know, it's been completely taken out of our control of the Hindus, right? With the completely false narrative, the atrocity literature being dumped into the minds of the Hindus from generations now, for last 200 to 300 years. So much of atrocity material is being created about Hinduism, degrading, demeaning Hinduism, Hindu tradition, Hindu religion, and all the aspects of Hindu identity. Each and everything has been denigrated in this atrocity literature. And that's what we all the Hindu youth are growing up, hearing, listening, even practicing unconsciously. So many, in fact, each and every dimension of our life, if we look carefully, has been diluted and polluted with these false ideas about Hinduism, right? And that's why we need a complete revival, an authentic, unadulterated revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma on planet Earth, and digging all this our great history and probing into it, authenticating it, and with each and every, with proper data, with proper statistics, archaeological evidence, astronomical evidence, literary evidence, each and every aspect of the whole, whatever scientific fields we have with us, the best technology, legitimizing the whole Hindu history, which is in fact real. But when it is scientifically legitimized, it is actually something which is now proven to be true. And so many things we have seen. Even the city of Dwarka, the satellite images by NASA itself are revealing that the Dwarka actually exists with the Krishna city, right? It actually exists. Same goes with the Ram Setu.
Yes.
Again, NASA's pictures, satellite images, clearly it is shown the whole kind of a bridge which is several layered. The top is old and the lower layer is new. How can that be? Unless that the lower layer came back later, and earlier there was nothing. It was a bridge on top of the water. Those the rocks were actually floating. So that's why we see, for us Hindus, we are so brainwashed into believing that no, so-called Western definition of science and everything, that we don't just accept and celebrate our Puranic history, the history of given in the Itihasas as it is. We ourselves are made to believe that we need proof, so-called scientific evidence and proof. All right, it is there. Just let's explore. Let's start the exploration, as has happened in the yesterday's news, right? Of course, because the truth is truth and it will remain the truth. Science, if you need the backing, let's get the backing. What is the thing in that? So that's why so much of grandeur about the Hindu history is hidden in the Hindu temples, even the architecture, right? If we look at the famous temples, the beautiful, most beautiful temples like Brihadishwara temple, Tanjavur, right? So much, see, there is just wonder. That's all. The word that comes to my mind is wonder. How did they build those structures? How did they build?
Actually, there's a fact there about the Brihadishwara temple that they just today came across. That the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has told us that the Brihadishwara temple Vimanam is for 700 years in history, for 700 years continuously, it was the tallest building in the world.
Tallest building.
Yes. For 700 years, of course, until about 100 or so years ago, the Brihadishwara temple tower was the tallest building in the world. And that was the architectural capabilities, power manifestation capabilities of our Hindu civilization.
Yes.
And unfortunately, there's so much. And of course, also the Brihadishwara temple was gold coated with thick gold sheet, and there's evidences there. We have done the
I don't think any temple was without gold, Maharaj.
No, it is the original, the way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving Kailasa, telling us that we have gold is the real part of our life. We had gold everywhere, and telling us that the possibilities is there to build a gold temple today. And that's the way that the original temples were, as you just said. And there are holes in the temple wall that show proof that it was there only that the gold sheet was latched and bolted into the temple stone. But unfortunately, so much of invasion and so much of work has been done to just destroy and loot away all of this gold and wealth. And in fact, the history tells that in the city of Varanasi, it was protected by the sadhus of Mahanirvana, and there were 10,000 sadhus. 10,000 sadhus who were just massacred at the time when this temple in Kashi was destroyed. And they all had to come together. And they had to protect the Vishwanatha Linga. So the story says that the Vishwanatha Linga had to be protected. So the yogis, the sadhus were yogis. So they took the linga. They all gathered around and they took the linga and jumped into a well.
The well. Yes.
A well. And then they kept that linga. They kept and they huddled and they kept there. They went into samadhi, and in that samadhi state, they are just one in oneness with the whole environment around them. So their bodies didn't die. So they're in such an encapsulated environment that these 4 or 5 sadhus held the linga together. And after some, I think it was after some decade or so, there were a few years after everything settled down, they went into the well and found that the linga is there. And in this way, they have done so many countless stories of there
Yes.
of how when the invaders came, how the sadhus and the people who did so much
Hmm.
to protect the main deity, because
Yes.
that is the most sacred thing. And when those sciences are lost, when the main deity is medical destroyed, it is just such a bad and negative thing
Exactly.
that that nobody wants to allow happen. They're ready to sacrifice their life for it.
Actually, Maharaj, I think it's still there, hidden somewhere. People know. Those who have to know, those who need to know, they know.
Yes.
Where the origin. In fact, we are so curious. I am so curious about it because even this present Shivalinga, which was found inside a well in the same premises.
Yes.
Naturally, it evokes that curiosity, right? Is it the same? Is it the Kashi Vishwanath original linga? Is it something else? So if it's not, then where is the actual linga? It's the whole questioning. And as a Hindu, I want to know.
Yes.
I have the right to know. It's my own history. Why should I not know? It's a very favorable, and I'm very happy, and all the Hindus are very happy with this judgment, and just shows that how much we are curious and how much we want to know our history, right? And just in that interest in the history is also aligned with what we have been discussing lately, that all the civilizations in the world are, and all the nations are going back to their own roots, their own identity, who they are, who they have been, and how that whole identity, their whole history can guide them further in this whole chaos that we are facing today, confusion we are facing today globally, right? So many wars, so many conflicts. Literally, we don't really have a proper solution to the problems we are facing. So going back to that identity, if we as Hindus go back to our own roots, our own identity, we have nothing less than gold again. Literally, and in terms of the whole knowledge and the solutions to all the problems as well, right? Even these temples, just probing into these temples, exploring them, will give us so much of insight about our true history, the true Hindu identity, which is based on powerfulness, which is based on super consciousness, the highest science given in the Vedas and Agamas, the cosmic science revealed by Paramashiva himself. All of that encoded in the form of the temples and the temple civilizations, and just flourishing, nurturing the whole humanity to reach to the ultimate goal, which is oneness with Paramashiva. That is the whole importance and the significance of our temples, and that's why the temples need to be saved. Hindu temples need to be protected. Hindu temples need to be revived in their authenticity, not some reformation and some new age changes. And no, as they were, as Paramashiva himself has ordained in the Agamas, how the temple has to be built, how each and every deity must be built and must be made, right, sculpted, and how the worship must be done, who has to offer that worship. There cannot be any changes in the original dictum which has been given by Paramashiva himself. Unfortunately, many of us Hindus also come up with these false narratives and agree with these false narratives that Hinduism needs some reformation and it's an old system and something changes, change is the only constant, and because of that Hinduism must also go through reformation. It is not, absolutely not true, because Hinduism is originally the best. It is the most authentic and the best system, social system, political system, spiritual system out there on the planet Earth. And when it comes to even temples, maintaining and reviving the authenticity as it is the only solution for every problem, individual problem, societal problem, anything.
Yes,
right.
I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Lakshmi Ma Nityakalparukshananda,
Yes.
who has offered the Divine Lotus Feet as Supreme Bond for the Hinduism through the YouTube super chat, the $5. And thank you so much, Ma. And thank you for commenting and contributing to Kailasa. And we encourage anyone and everyone to also join us and join us in the conversation, and let us know your questions, and let us know if there is anything that you want us to clarify and want us to tell more about the facts about Kasi or the facts about the work of Kailasa. So let us know in the comments. And if there's any of what you want to know about the next step that we want to take after coming to Kailasa, after becoming, if you want, you should become an e-citizen. You can scan the QR code and become an e-citizen and know all of the perks and all of the beautiful things that you get to be a part of learning and be a part of really empowering yourself about Hinduism.
And contributing as well,
yes.
right, in this whole revival.
Yeah, the whole revival, yes. And there is the donation QR code to contribute to the whole revival of Kailasa. Is a grand work, and it requires the Lakshmi, and we need to have this support. And we can you can scan the QR code, and there's the other one for the Paramashiva programs, and there also you can learn the base knowledge to empower yourself with experiential understanding, and know from your depths how and what is Hinduism. First, from the divine grace and presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. It is in his very presence that these programs happen. It is with his grace and his divine initiation that we actually have we are able to manifest powers and do so much of contribution to Hinduism as Kailasa already. But there's so much more to do, and all Hindus and all those who are aspiring to be Hindus, or all those who are just visiting Hinduism, just are celebrating Hinduism through online and understand the through Hindu culture or the cultures of the Hindu nations, you can also join the Mahaparameshwaram program and empower yourself with so much of knowledge and so much of truth that is there inside the Hindu religion given by the Supreme Pontiff.
Yes, exactly. It's an opportunity for all of you to become part of this whole grand revival, and start with first enriching yourself and coming back and aligning to your own roots, your own the powerful cognitions given in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which are being revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And through the Paramashivam Level 1 program, which is absolutely free, you can get the best experience, the entry into this whole the grandness of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and the grandness of you as well, right? Who you really are, the perfect introduction, the most powerful introduction given to you by your own creator, right? So that's what you will get, and the whole experience of Paramashivam completion with all your pain patterns and how to live in an unclutched way and radiating the best things in life in all the dimensions, how to manifest wealth, how to manifest perfect health, good relationships, fulfilling relationships, each and every aspect of the life you will get perfect insight into, and will learn with the initiation, the power of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's initiation. You will be able to manifest anything in life. So that's how you will start. And then once you are established and grounded in this powerfulness of Hindu identity, you are most welcome to enrich yourself, your relatives, the ones you care for, and the entire world with the best gifts of Hinduism and the message of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. For that, please scan the QR codes, whatever you wish to be a part of Paramashivam program, Mahaparameshivam program, become an e-citizen of Kailasa, or donate in whatever capacity you want to share your time, treasure, or talent in the service of this greatest mission of revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma on planet Earth. We welcome you to be a part of this great happening. Yes. So that's all for today.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you for the discussion, and welcoming everyone back to join us on this discussion every day evening at 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Thank you so much.
Yes, and we also invite you to share your ideas. What do you want to know about? Which aspect of Hinduism you want us to talk about? And which aspect of Hinduism inspires you the most? You like the most, and what you want to celebrate the most? Anything, any kind of discussion, whether you have some doubts about it, or some conflicts about what is right, what is wrong in that aspect of Hinduism, or what you want to know, how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the truths that he shares about Vedas and Agamas and any aspect of Hinduism, anything you have a question about, have a doubts about, we invite you to put all of that in the comments section. We would love to respond back, and we would consider each and every of your comment with full sincerity. Yes. So with this, we are coming to the completion of our segment in today's show. And the next is the most awaited segment, which is the darshan and the direct words, the revelations from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as the Nitya Satsang, the daily Nitya Satsang. But before we lead to the Nitya Satsang, let us prepare ourselves. Let's go through a short meditation so that we are in the proper space to receive the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, in our life. So let's prepare ourselves. Please sit with your head, neck, and spine in the straight line, with your body completely relaxed from head to toe, releasing all the tensions, all the stress that you are carrying. Carrying a deep space of restful awareness in your Ananda Gandha, which is the space between the navel center and your heart center. Carrying the space of devotion, gratitude, and feeling connection towards the Paramavatara of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva. Visualize Paramashiva in your third eye, in bright golden light. Visualize as you close your eyes, visualize Paramashiva with 25 heads, 50 hands, and 75 eyes. And chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let the Mahavakya reverberate in your entire being as we get ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva. Let's chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
नित्यानन्देश्वर समारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. It's so nice to be here in Varanasi. I'm not trying to tease you all. I'm just reminding, when I am here, what are you doing there? Varanasi, Anandavana, the place of Annapurani. Only yesterday I realized the power of Annapurani's energy field. Please understand, it's not only she gives food, the moment you enter this space, your metabolism just goes up. That is the power of the Annapurna's energy field. Just yesterday night I discovered it. Why I feel so blissful. See, the bliss of enlightenment is always there. Why I feel so blissful when I enter Varanasi? I was just looking. Why I feel so healthy the moment I enter the energy field of Varanasi? Because the metabolism goes so high. Literally the body is digesting the air itself. The very air is digested by the body. Body is enjoying the very breath or the energy field of this Anandavana, Varanasi. This place is an ecstasy for people who seek the higher purpose of life. See, the highest purpose is enlightenment, no doubt. But even if somebody is seeking little higher than what they are seeking, even if they are seeking for health, they want complete health, then little higher than what they are seeking. They were looking for wealth, now they are looking for more wealth. That is little higher than what they are seeking. See, highest is enlightenment. But even if you are seeking little higher than what you have in your life, this place does the job. It's really, really, really Anandavana. Even Saraswati in my tongue feels, wow, how can I describe Varanasi? This is most fascinating city. If you understand the chaos and the order and all, this is the most fascinating city. If you don't understand and resist, most frustrating city. This city is like me, always in extreme. If you understand the order, most fascinating. If you resist, most frustrating. I can say this city is literally DNA of Hinduism. It's DNA of Hinduism. That's the only word I can use. One nice thing in this city, nothing is in our control. That is the beauty you need to enjoy in this city. Nothing. Not only weather or temperature, those natural things related to nature, even most common things like you want to go somewhere, or you have your plans to do something, nothing is in your control. You can never be an organized person in Varanasi. You have to taste the flow of life in Varanasi. Everything will be there. Suddenly nothing will be there. Nothing will be there. Suddenly everything will be there. If you don't understand what I am saying, wait, in next few days you will understand. This is really, really, literally controlled by Mahadeva, the place where he dances, celebrates his own existence, and what not. Land of Vishwanatha, protected by, maintained by Kalabhairava, fed, nourished, enriched by Mata Annapurani. Please understand, all of them are not just some dry principle as described by Vedantis. No. When it comes to Hindu gods and goddesses, I am a simple, straightforward Agamic devotee. I am not a Vedanti. When I say Annapurani, Kalabhairava, see, when I say Annapurani, Kalabhairava, Vishwanatha, please understand, they are literally living here and responding in the very physical plane, like how you can talk to your friends or neighbor, relatives, to me and receive response. In that very plane, all of them exist in Varanasi. I am not talking about their deity in the temple. that represents them, no doubt. And I am not talking about they existing in the form of a principle. God exists everywhere. No, relax. I am not a dry Vedanti. Please understand, I am talking straightforward, direct form. They exist. Where you can talk to them, relate with them. See, yesterday, the moment I landed in Varanasi, first thing I did, went and had darshan of Kalabhairava, gave attendance. I am here, bless me, everything should go well. Understand? Varanasi is literally the place where gods make themselves available to everyone, anyone who comes here to relate with them, talk to them, receive blessings, or offer gratitude, whatever may be the purpose. When you are here, when you relate with them, they make themselves available to you physically. And I tell you, I am not giving you false promise. I am talking on a national channel. Please understand, I am talking in a national channel, the nation where only Hindus are targeted, only Hindu gurus are put to the highest possible scrutiny, not to be accepted, but to be rejected. I am talking in that country, in that country's national channel. So I am talking responsibly. Understand, Varanasi is a place where these great gods, goddesses are physically making themselves available. Physically, literally making themselves available to everyone who comes here for praying, connecting with them, offering gratitude. As I said, this place is the DNA of Hinduism. DNA of Hinduism. Many times people come and complain to me, oh, this place is so dirty. I tell them, relax a little bit. Understand the load this city is handling. This city is the center of the faith of 100 crore people. Literally billion, 1 billion peoples. Faith center. So this place has to support the spiritual sentiments, needs, the sacred needs of literally billion people. The kind of a load this city has to take is unimaginable. Taking all that load, still this city is surviving without collapsing itself is a miracle. Forget about little dirt here and there you see. And unfortunately, we Hindus don't have any sense of cleanliness or social service. We have high religious sentiments. But we ourselves don't feel when we offer something in the temple, when we offer something in the mutts, monasteries, we should spend little time to clean that place up. We don't have that sense. The dignity of labor is only growing now with us. So naturally, the combination of these two, see, if we don't go, the place will be clean. If we have the sense of cleanliness, that place will be clean. We don't stop going. We will go, But unfortunately, still we have not developed that level of sense of cleanliness. So naturally there will be little as per your standard. It is like your backyard is used only once in a while for a small parties. So you can keep it clean. But imagine every night 500 people come there and go, and you don't have anybody to clean it up. This place, hundreds and thousands of people walk in every day to offer prayers, worship, sacred sentiment. The load this city is handling, still this city is surviving itself is a miracle. So do not complain about cleanliness or anything. This city need to be celebrated. Ramakrishna says, I don't see this city built out of stone, mud, wood, mortar and all that. I see this city is completely built out of gold, golden city. I tell you, I was contemplating why Ramakrishna told this city is a golden city, and basically he doesn't like gold. That is a important thing you need to know. He can't touch gold. He's not like me, nicely wearing gold, and he's not like that kind of a person. I was meditating one day about this. Why Ramakrishna said, actually I was in the boat in the Ganga, and I was looking at the Kashi. Kashi itself is considered as a god here, Kashika Devi. I was thinking why Ramakrishna made this remark. I suddenly saw clearly, it is built out of so much of sacred sentiments of billions of devotees, lakhs of sannyasis, millions of seekers, all their sacred sentiment, all their deep devotion, all their yearning for higher purpose, highest purpose. All these sentiments were the foundation for this city to be built. Nothing else. So this most sacred city, the most sacred place, built with so much of sacred sentiments, so much of sacredness, that sacred sentiments only Ramakrishna describes as golden city. Varanasi means the place between eyebrows and the nose, third eye. Understand? The very word Varanasi means third eye. And the very inhaling, exhaling action in Varanasi, this very air of Ganga Mata, the breathing space of Ganga Mata, means the air which travels on the Ganga, even inhaling and exhaling that very air, subtly massages third eye and awakens it. Understand? The very air of the Ganga in Varanasi, going in and coming out, massages your third eye and awakens it. This land, even the great personalities like Vyasa, Shankara, even they are not able to sing the glory of Anandavana. Where am I? I may not be able to sing the glory, but I will continue to try. Among the gods, Mahadeva. Among the kshetras, Varanasi. Among the mantras, Pranava. Among the books, Upanishads. You can't even compare See, if there is something to compare, you can compare and describe. This city has a unique lifestyle. Even the people, please understand, in this city, people see 10,000 sadhus every day. They would have seen all great big Mahatmas. They don't have to go anywhere. If they just sit in their gully, in their pawn shop, or chai shop, or just outside their house, in their veranda, they will see all the great Mahatmas of the world. Any Mahatma exists on the planet Earth, they will see them in their outside their house, in the street. But still, yesterday while I am walking, I am seeing the whole gully standing up and doing namaskar. I was thinking, if you see Mahatmas, sadhus, gurus every day in and day out, Babas, sadhus, gurus, and of course Hinduism has tons of them. Literally, I think, per 100% we have one temple, and for 100%, per 1,000% we have one guru in Hinduism. If we do the statistics, it may be even less. Seeing so many of them, still I see that it is a joy for them. It's excitement for them. They don't even just do namaskar with the hand, they stand up. They have their own way of respecting. Somebody will tell Har Har Mahadev, somebody will tell Mahadev, somebody will tell Annapurni ki jai, somebody will tell Vishwanath, Polo Vishwanath, somebody will tell Bole Baba, whatever. But they have their own way of respecting. One thing is sure, no one will miss the opportunity of respecting. See, I have seen many holy cities. I am born in a sacred town in Tiruvannamalai, where people see thousands of sadhus. So they become insensitive to sadhus. I have not seen the natives of Tiruvannamalai people standing up and respecting every sadhu who walks in the street. Natives have become insensitive to sadhus. Maybe the people who come from outside, visitors may respect the sadhus and sannyasis whom they see. Natives have almost become, okay, this is everyday life. But Varanasi, still I am seeing, Varanasi, they must be seeing the Mahatmas, sadhus, at least 100 times more than Tiruvannamalai. But still it is a joy, excitement. I tell you, this city is literally the DNA of Hinduism. The Hindu tradition, the lifestyle, the gullies, the temples, the people, everything. Varanasi has its own culture. I can say Varanasi is its own religion. The way of food, clothes, building, shelter, art, dance, music, handicrafts, everything. Varanasi has its own religion. By its uniqueness, any quality you attribute it to Varanasi, you can attribute that quality to Hinduism. Any quality you see in Hinduism, you can attribute that to Varanasi. The qualities of Hinduism, worshipping everything as God. I tell you, in Varanasi, not only everything is worshipped as God, nothing else exists other than God. There are many religions which say one God. But Varanasi, only God. See, actually one God is a stupid theory. Only God is the reality. It is an ability to bear all the invasions, attacks, and stand back. If it's a quality of Hinduism, you can attribute that to Varanasi. Varanasi has seen equal number of invaders, the number of visitors, devotees, sannyasis, it sees the same number of invaders it has seen, but still it stands. It stands. Actually, whoever invades Varanasi, they just fall in love with Varanasi. Varanasi invades into them with its subtle power. They come with a hard power to invade Varanasi, with the army, all that. But Varanasi's subtle power invades them, and they go back carrying Varanasi inside them. You just need a right context to understand Varanasi, to celebrate Varanasi. Everything best humanity has done, whether in the field of philosophy, the field of enlightenment, in the field of spiritual powers, in the field of music, art, architecture, in every field, the best, most ancient civilization on the planet Earth, the Vedic tradition, Sanatana Hindu Dharma tradition, the best they have done is still preserved, protected in this one city. Whether it's a cooking style, eating style, feeding style, or music or dance or philosophy or way of teaching, everything, the best we invented, discovered, developed in our tradition by our research and development, everything is still preserved in this one city in its lifestyle. I don't know how you all feel when I talk about Varanasi, but I am enjoying. That is why I am not able to stop talking about it. I am enjoying it so much. That is why every time I come to Varanasi, at least 1 or 2 days satsang, I won't be able to talk anything else. I know I am supposed to talk on Kathopanishad. But the moment I enter, I am so full of Varanasi. Not only I am devotee of Vishwanatha and Annapurani, I have become a great fan of Varanasi. And everything exists in Varanasi. The way the life is lived, the way death is faced, the way everything is lived. Please understand, when you are driving around in this city, any vehicle on which if you see the shining cloth is tied on a suitcase or luggage, please understand it is not suitcase or luggage, it's a dead body. If the shining color cloth is covered on that luggage end to end completely, understand, it's a dead body. You will see them on auto or taxi or car which is driving next to you. At the most you will hear Ram Nam Satya Hai from those people who are taking the body, who are sitting inside the vehicle. And I have seen, sometimes they nicely offload the body next to a chai shop and all 4 of them will be standing and sipping a chai. It's not that they disrespect the person who is dead and they must be direct father, mother or close relative. Then when they take the body again they chant only one thing, Ram Nam Satya Hai. Per day almost 300 bodies are burnt, minimum. Sometimes it goes up to even 600 in Manikarnika Ghat. But I have not seen a single person crying in that Manikarnika Ghat. See, I went and sat in Manikarnika Ghat hundreds of days. I've spent time there. So many people bring their bodies, their relatives, near and dear ones' bodies. Once I have seen one bull was dragging the body and bringing it to Manikarnika. Just all alone, one bull, the owner's body. I don't know who tied all the clothes properly, but he was bringing. I've seen with my own eyes. Then the people working the cremation ground, they just offloaded the body and they did the rituals. Not even once I was able to see any one relative crying. It's not that people don't love their near and dear ones here, but they know death here means liberation. Death here means liberation. So strong. It is no more a faith. Please understand. When there is a doubt, 50%, then it can be called as faith. When there is 20% doubt, you can call it as a blind faith. When there is 10% doubt, you can call it as a perception. When there is no place for doubt, it's reality. In Varanasi, the idea death here is liberation is a reality. Not even 1% doubt. I've seen the way people hold Varanasi in their inner space. If some place can generate such an amazing inner space, it's reality. Please understand, it's reality. How in Hollywood movies, just the perception, they try to make it look like almost reality, and for the 3-4 hours you literally believe it's a reality. Even though after that you know, no, it was created perception. How they make it look like almost reality. So each country has its own way of expressions of life. Here, it is really, really real. The liberation is a reality. Death here means liberation. That's a reality. It is not just belief, blind belief. Death here means liberation. It's a reality. See, man has many different expressions, like his imagination. The America's imagination is Hollywood. And same way, the kick of playing with probability, that is Las Vegas. Even playing with the probability gives certain kick after operating that slot machine, waiting for the number to settle. Those few seconds kick. That is what makes people addicted to gambling. So the kick of playing with the probability is Las Vegas. The expression of their imaginations is Hollywood. But for Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Varanasi is everything. Our expression of imagination, our kick of playing with probability and what not, and beyond all this. Even imagination is too small word. It's beyond all this. It has gone to the extreme of that sacred sentiments and experience. It is just a reality. It is just a reality. This city the place, it's a spiritual capital of the world. I can go on and on and on. I won't stop. I won't be able to stop speaking about Varanasi. But we will have to go to the next sessions. And today, the next inner awakening is starting in Varanasi. 33rd inner awakening and 30th inner awakening for kids. 33rd inner awakening is starting this IA. We are going to give a breakthrough to IAs. It will be a breakthrough to IAs. That's the way this IA is going to be. So you can expect even the most unexpected, greatest positive possibilities. So you all have to get ready for the introduction session. I know I need to give a little time for all you guys to settle down, jet lag, everything. But in Varanasi, you don't know anything about, you will not have any problems related to this jet lag and all. Because, see, if you get down from one jet and rest only, then you will have jet lag. Varanasi itself is another one jet. You are just moving from one jet to another jet. So you don't have time for jet lagging or anything else. It is Varanasi. Actually, this time the whole organizing, literally we have taken it upon ourselves. Please understand, last time food and all that we have given as a contract. Unfortunately, how much ever we tell, we tried our best to make everything organic last time. Those fellows, how much ever we tell, see, there are some things which is really not available organic in India. It has become impossible to procure. For example, green chili. Organic green chili is available only in Andhra. Anywhere else, green chili production has become non-organic with chemical. Only in particular areas of Andhra, they still produce green chili and red chili, both in organic way. So like that, there are some things not available immediately. If those things they use the regular available market items, okay. But last time we were not able to control even that much. Once they give the contract, what they bring, what they cook. How much ever you scrutinize, suddenly after 10 days they say, all right, if you are not interested, come on, I am stopping cooking. What will we do? In the beginning itself we said, we will cook on our own. And we have 50 volunteers from Tamil Nadu. Please understand. Actually, this time we have more staffs and volunteers than the participants. I said it's okay. We need to train our own battalion, our own group. 50 people, 52 actually, exactly, to tell exact number. 52 people have come. Literally all the groceries in lorries and trucks we brought from south. We procured everything because in Karnataka you get a lot of these organic items. And only few perishable items we were not able to bring. All the non-perishable groceries we brought from there. Here we are trying to source even the perishable, organic, but with all this, still we are struggling that few items are not available organic, but we have with all our integrity, we put all our effort to serve food as per Mahadeva's instruction. Please understand, Mahadeva has written a beautiful cookbook called Bhagashastra. It's attributed to Mahadeva. I feel the book is so beautiful. Anybody who has written is already in the space of Mahadeva, so we can very boldly, courageously we can say it is written by Mahadeva. Nothing need to be doubted. The book describes beautifully about the cooking vessel, the way of cooking, the temperature need to be maintained for each item to be cooked, and around, I think, 200 items Mahadeva himself has described in a book called Bhagashastra, which was at least, the book must be 20 to 30,000 years old, because the way things are described, the way things available, it's so beautiful. We are, with all our integrity, we have put our 100% effort to serve you guys this time as per the Bhagashastra. Only for this cleaning the vessels and all that, I allowed them to use the modern day soaps and little acid to clean the floor and to clean the vessels. Only for that I allowed them to use chemicals. Because unfortunately Mahadeva is not describing the items for cleaning the vessels. I don't know how that chapter got missed. Only for those things where Mahadeva did not describe, we are using the modern day items. Other than that, literally we are bringing back the original cooking of Mahadeva's family kitchen. So enjoy. It's full of good things from Ayurveda. And literally, not only cooking, all the other arrangements also, we have taken it in our hands directly, without having any contractors or any middleman. So hope we will really serve you. Apart from that, get ready for a great spiritual feast. It's going to be an extraordinary spiritual feast. I'm going to start the third eye initiation from today, day 1. Please understand, the third eye initiation, working on the third eye, is going to be starting today. It's not that 12th day. Of course, the 12th day I am going to start for Shivoham participants. For all the inner awakening participants, I am going to start today, because by 11th day I wanted to finish the third eye process with all you guys. You will all be ready. So I can concentrate on the Shivoham participants on last. Of course, those last 11 days also, you will also be having initiation, but I can put a little more time on them. So, the initiation and the process is going to start today for all of you. I really, really want to make sure that everyone, 100%, 100% third eye awakening result, whether you are a kid or adult, this inner awakening. So, I am starting today. The initiation starts on day 1. Get ready for a spiritual blast. Literally, for a spiritual blast. And with this, I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Advaita, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Nithyananda Dhyana Peetham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/
ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய்